It's freaking bananas. Don't do it. Pick one best angle shot that shows the spaciousness of the room. The one I pick is always the one that has the most floor space. Now, once you've done the photo, the next thing to do is obviously to get it up onto the MLS and write the description. So if you haven't taken notes of all the features of the home, how are you going to write a proper description? If you just walk through the house, and there are agents out there by the yin-yang, all they do is walk through the house and try to memorize shit. So if you're listing your first house, don't memorize it. Write it down note by note. Let the seller know, I'm just taking notes on every feature because there's no way I'm going to remember it. This is what I told all my sellers. So you can highlight it. I'm going to keep taking notes. And they said, okay, great. They appreciate that because now I'm going to take that down. I'm going to write that into the description. And the description for me is like the intro of a book, right? The prelude to a book. You only have a certain amount of words, a single page. And from there, basically a lot of people decide whether or not they're going to buy that book from that intro. I've had hundreds of agents copy, paste my description, my write-up. I went into my broker of record at the time. I go, this guy just was a semi-detached. He listed the next door neighbor and he basically copy and pasted my write-up.
Wow.
And I go, what can I do? And my broker of record said, take it as a compliment.
Then what'd you say to that?
I go, okay. And what else can we do?
Is there anything else?
Yeah. He goes, not really.
Wow.
Right? Unless you want to try and get into some minor legal action, which is going to be a brain drain.
Great it was.
Well, it is still today.
Wow.
I have so many agents just trying to copy me on a regular basis on all my systems, all my techniques. And that's why we're coming out with a training package, a listing package. We're going to have multiple packages for each section. So based on the phase that you're in or the stage that you're in your business, you'll be able to buy that at a cheaper price instead of just getting everything in one for a more expensive price. We're going to break it down and you can pick and choose where you're at that point in time. So that's coming soon. That's going to be out by the end of this year along with our book. Is coming out too. The Real Estate Mentor is coming out on December 6th. So moving along, you're a first-time listing agent. You've walked through the house, you put it onto the market, you've taken the photos here, you've done the staging, and you've taken the photos, and now you're putting it up on the MLS. You have to pick the right photos. You know what drives me a little crazy is when agents, there's a living room, and they put up 17 photos of the living room from every single angle out there. It's like, what the?
It happens.
So first of all, I'm an agent. So you got to realize who's looking at it. First of all, buyers who want to see the house and agents who want to show the house.
Yes.
So if as an agent, do I want to sit there and look at 17 photos of the same room? It's freaking bananas. Don't do it. Pick one best angle shot that shows the spaciousness of the room. The one I pick is always the one that has the most floor space into it. If it's a big room and you're trying to show how it's combining with another room, 2 shots tops, and that's it. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then move along. And if there's rooms in there that look like absolute beep, then what I would say is don't show it on the MLS. It's going to hurt your showing, If the seller decides not to clean up their house and your photographer didn't put on the gloves that day to pick up the dirty underwear or dirty diapers that are laying all over, don't put that photo up on the MLS. It's mind-boggling what some of these agents...
Or the toilet paper on the toilet or on the bathtub.
Whatever it is,
like,
an unflushed toilet. Like, come on. Like, and first of all, your photographer should have closed the lid if it's an unflushed toilet. But we've seen it. I mean, I've seen everything in this business. I've walked into houses where there's dog shit on the floor. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Did you pick it up?
No, fuck no.
Yeah,
it's
right?
not my house. I was showing the house.
Jesus.
Right? So, but I mean, there's even some agents that put that kind of stuff into the MLS pictures. So make sure you're very, very meticulous or particular about the photos you choose. Now, if you're not getting showings within your first few days to a week, you must look at your photos. There's something wrong with your photos, or there's something wrong with your MLS description. And please research your MLS description and the full MLS. Don't make mistakes with your bedrooms. Don't make mistakes with your bathrooms. Don't make mistakes with your basement. Don't forget to mention green space, backing onto green space. I mean, that's only a $50,000 value if you're in a high-end subdivision or in a city and it's backing onto green space. Don't lose those. Also, if you are backing onto green space, your initial photo should show the house and backing onto green space. Just some tips, again, of what you should be doing when you get started. So that's some of the things you need to be doing, Shawn, to get that started. Now you get it up, you click on post, and you're live. You know what a lot of people forget to do?
What?
To book in their open houses. But that's another subject that we're going to leave for a later date.
Yes.
So does that make you feel a little bit more comfortable?
Much better.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
no worries. Anytime.
Appreciate it.
You're on the right path. You fast-tracked 3 months. You got in your first listing. You got two deals coming up now in your fourth month. And we got to aim to get another 2, actually 3 in July. Otherwise, you're going to get Shawn's going to get a nice pie in the face.
And I think I got that.
Pie or prize, and that's a pie in the face. And I'm going to explain to you later on our next episode as to why I implement July as the pie or prize month for our team, where they have to do 3 deals in July. And if they do, they get thousands of dollars in high-end things they can buy, whatever it is. Maybe they want to buy a Mont Blanc pen. Maybe they want to buy a Hugo Boss suit.
Whatever.
Maybe you want to buy some fancy shoes.
A Chanel purse.
A Chanel purse.
Yeah.
It's going to include the limo ride,
Yeah.
an unlimited glass of bubbly Dom Perignon, and a fancy night out at a Michelin star restaurant. And that's the temptation. But if he doesn't do it, if he only gets to 1 or 2, it's pie in the face time.
Yeah.
And so you guys got to stay tuned, because we actually have 5 or 6 of our team members that's joined up for this that are all participating. It's going to be an exciting episode. Right now, that's what we're focused on, is getting Shawn not only to get these deals done, but focusing on July. And so, that's what we got to sometimes focus on. But the what now is making sure while you got your first listing, it's the most exciting thing. What you don't want to do is A, your listing doesn't sell on offer presentation night. B, your listing doesn't sell within the first month. Or C, it does sell really quickly. And then you're like,
what now?
What now?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And the reason why people fall to that trap, so if you're just getting started, you've got your first listing, you're super excited. You want to make the most out of this listing. So here are some tips that I want to give you guys for making the most out of your first listing. Number 1, door knock the immediate neighborhood. Let your neighbors know that this house is coming on the market. Ask them a simple question. Do you know anyone who might possibly be interested in moving to the neighborhood? Because I have a house coming onto the market next week. So if you have a coming soon, you should be pre-marketing coming soon. You should have some flyers. They should go out to the neighborhood as well to make people aware. So everyone's watching your listing, right? You want that attention. Now, if some of you guys don't feel comfortable with that, get comfortable with it. You have no choice. You're in real estate, right? So,
Yeah. I really thought you were about to go off on like, okay, so you're not comfortable, do this, that.
No.
No,
real estate's not. Listen, I was an introvert. I heard Mr. Peterson say, if you're an introvert, you should stick to your introvert job, and I have no problems with this guy.
Yeah.
But, that's not real estate. And if you want to become something, you have to change who you are, period. That's what real estate did to me. It changed me big time. So there's no way, 15 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, that I would see myself sitting in front of this camera, having the personality I had at the time.
Yeah.
Never mind door knocking, talking to people, feeling comfortable on this kind of level. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be who I was today. So, things change us. We get into things we love to become the people that we want to become. So real estate did that for me.
Nice.
So that's great. So now send out those flyers. Now you want to target your social media blast to geo-target the area as best as possible. And so your Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, anyone else that you're doing, you want to do them all across the board. You want to take your reel. That's why you need your reel to basically post that, because nowadays, you can't post a photo onto YouTube. You're not going to post a photo on TikTok. It needs to be a nice reel, catchy intro. Some people like to do the funny stuff, whatever you're comfortable with, but just do one. Get yourself in there so you can get people recognize that you are that listing agent for this property.
Yeah.
We didn't have that opportunity when I first got started in this business, but that opportunity is now. And Shawn did a great, phenomenal job highlighting the features of that home, and it increases the showing because we can now do something called a boost. If you're a little nervous about boosting your first video or your first listing, you don't know you want to spend money on it, tough luck. Spend money on it because you got to do it. You got to start feeling comfortable with spending money on these things some way and putting in extra work, whether it sells or not, because this is what you got to get used to. You're now self-employed. You're not a 9-to-5er. You got to get used to this, or join a team like Shawn did, and I'll cover the bill. So
exactly.
So you just come like, Hans, can I do this? It's going to cost this. I will tell you yes. And we spend it because it's beneficial to get that kind of awareness of this property. Now what you're doing is, people are now seeing you door knock. They met you in person. They see you on social media. You've gotten a flyer in the mail, or they got a door hanger on their hanger, around, 1,000 to 2,000 homes. Keep it within your budget. I'm not saying blow your budget out on your first house, because if it doesn't sell, it's a bit of a problem. So you need to have a certain amount of budget for each home. My budget is approximately $8,000 to $10,000 per home. Wow. That's what we're spending on our houses right now when we're listing houses. Obviously, we're listing over $1 million on average, so it's a little bit different ball game, but there is major costs involved. And if I were just to do one single home, that number wouldn't even make sense to me, because I need to combine my costs with all the houses by selling multiple houses, which brings down the average cost of each marketing for each house. But that being said, I would recommend that if there is a very popular local newspaper that's being delivered for the town, I would say get an ad into that. Don't forget to market your open houses. Your open houses should be marketed. So a lot of people forget to put their open houses into their MLS. You need to do that. You need to market your open houses and then hold an open house. I suggest 1 to 4 Saturday and Sunday. Now, every single trainer out there says not to do that. We have the best training program for open houses. You're going to be able to buy that shortly in December. So buy yourself a Christmas gift and get ready for 2024. And so you can buy that online. It's a great package. That's the one I highly recommend, is what you should be doing with open houses, how to convert at open houses, and how to make your business boom through open houses. So that being said, you should definitely market your open house. That'll drive people in. Now, before and after every open house is a phenomenal time, because it's Saturday and Sunday just before your open houses, which is at 1 o'clock. So 11 to 1, I would be door knocking the area. After the open house, I would do it again, just because I was there and I want to just door knock and let people know again. And while I'm at the open house, if it was a little slow, I would call the neighborhood. So these are some of the things you can do to help turn your first listing. And I've taken a listing, and one single listing, and I've turned it into 10 to 15 deals.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't think you guys realize how important this can be.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't.
There you go. Now you do.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
Anytime. So that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So from there, you do all these steps, and I know it sounds like a lot, but if you do all these steps, all of a sudden you're going to find that when you do sell the house, you go back to them, you do the just sold. The just solds will tell the neighbor, hey, I got this much. Hey, remember we talked, you said if I got this kind of price, you might possibly be interested. You want to get that evaluation done. Every house is different. That house had certain features. I'm sure your house has some features as well, some really nice features as well. And then all of a sudden, they're saying, come on in. Yeah, for sure, I'm interested. And all of a sudden you get your second sign up. So I have sold 17 houses on a single street.
Wow.
Yeah. 17 houses. I had over 7 signs up on one street at one time.
At once.
Yeah, at once.
That's an incredible feeling.
It is. And in a subdivision of 3,000 homes, I have sold over 10% of those homes, 300 of those homes.
Wow.
And yeah, thank you.
That's huge. That's actually very
using
impressive.
these kind of techniques. So if you're wondering what kind of results you can get from it, that's the kind of results. From a single neighborhood, I was pulling out over 50 transactions in that specific neighborhood. Never mind, I'm not including buyers that went to other neighborhoods to buy, sold in that neighborhood, went to other neighborhoods to buy, but actually just in that buying and selling within that neighborhood.
Within that neighborhood.
Within that
wow.
2,000, 2,500, it's now up to 3,000, but at the time it was 2,000 a home pocket.
Wow.
Yeah, incredible. And we're still working that pocket, obviously.
And it all started with one listing.
It all starts with that one
That's
neighborhood.
It.
Yeah, one listing, yeah. And with a great testimonial. So after you do your first listing, don't forget to get that Google review, that testimonial. And if it's a great testimonial, you use that on your future listing appointments, your future marketing, etc. Yeah, so that's just some of the first steps that I would like to share with you, given that Shawn is also doing that. We actually do that for him, so it takes all that pressure. If you're thinking about joining up with a team and you live in the GTA, contact us. We're expanding quickly. We're now at 50 team members. Our goal is to get up to 100 team members by the end of the year. We're quickly expanding, and we're looking forward to putting this system in place for you guys. What I would suggest is pick up all the new training videos that we have coming. Very, very affordable. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're spending on it, because one deal in real estate pays for everything, the whole package in total. And I'm giving you away techniques that are going to show you how to making, if you're making under 6 figures net. Okay, I know everyone likes to brag about how they make over 6 figures gross, but when you crunch all your numbers, I'm talking about 6 figures net, how to get there very quickly in your first year, which is what we're showing right now with Shawn.
Yep.
Right? He's the 250K protege. And the reason why we say that is we're going to get him there within 2 years. And if we could move your income from 100K or under maybe 50K, when I started, I was 30K,
Jesus.
right? 30K when I left my job. And, I quickly turned myself into 100K. And then now, I run a $10 million gross revenue business, which is night and day, but it's,
Definitely.
I don't want you guys to think that's where you should be. You need to go from under 100K to over 100K.
Yeah, it's about
That's a big step. And then from over 100K to 250K. Then from 250K to 3, 4, or 500K, right? And see some growth. And then realize that every 4th year is going to be a downturn. So for all you guys that have been in business now for a few years, and then all of a sudden you have a down year, it's normal. It's a cycle. It's the economic cycle of real estate, of business in itself. So just be aware of that. Don't beat yourself up too much. So another tip in a downturn, which is what we just experienced, I put new systems into place, preparing for the upswing. And so now I'm not just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. All of a sudden, when we do take off, I recuperate everything that I've lost because now all the systems I've wanted to put into place, I was able to put into place.
It's already there. You just set goals.
Yeah, set goals and go.
And go.
And that, I think, will conclude, unless you have any more questions, Shawn.
That is it for this episode.
That's it for this episode?
Yes.
All right, so this is Shawn Medi, 250K protege.
Yeah, and that is Hanzo, the real estate mentor. Thank you for tuning in.
We appreciate it. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like this shit, and ask us for more. Don't forget to make some comments. If you like what you just heard, we'd love to hear that. We appreciate your time. Hopefully this is good stuff, and we'll talk to you next week.
See you next week. Take care.